Do you get it?
Yeah.
We got it. It's June.
Whee!
Alright, what happened in June? I'm drawing a blank. I was transitioning into being a mom still. It's very hard. Very hard. Being up at random hours in the night. I mean, I was granted with a great baby. She sleeps pretty much through the night. She only cries when she's hungry. She will sit in her poopy diaper, and sometimes I won't even know. I always change it when I find out. But so it's like you have to check it every like 10 minutes because that girl farts all the time. It's ridiculous.
She giggles and smiles when she farts.
It's so cute.
Just like her mommy.
I do not. Only when I burp. Whatever. I had a hard time leaving my baby. A hard time. I think, was it you that I hung out with for the first time away from my baby?
I think so.
I, cried.
That was when she was going somewhere and you weren't going
somewhere. Oh, for the first time she went to her grandparents' house, the baby daddy's. Did I say? No? Okay.
Say baby daddy.
My baby daddy. My baby daddy's family's house for the first time. And I cried like a baby.
They came here and picked her up, picked up the baby, and Christian starts crying when they leave.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty pathetic.
Separation anxiety at its worst with the mother.
Yeah. I'm working on it. It's getting a little bit better. Anyways, what's going on in your life?
June. June was not so great month for my boyfriend, which equally not so great month for me because, my boyfriend's pain is kind of my pain too. He got really sick, with a really bad fever, cold, flu, whatever you want to call it. He was throwing up. He had a fever of 100 degrees. He was really sick, and he was working for a temp agency and a manufacturing company. And their policies you have to call in when you are going to be leaving work. And he went to work. He got sent home because he was really sick. And the next day he couldn't go to work, so he called in. He had to call in a couple days in a row, and I was with him, taking care of him, so I know for a fact he was sick. He was vomiting every single day. And on one of the days, it was a Friday, he called in, and they didn't answer. And so he called again, and they still didn't answer. And on the third time, he called in and left a message. And so he just didn't go to work that day. Well, the next week, he goes to work, everything's normal, he gets put online, whatever. The week after that, they end up not calling his name, and he talks to the managers there, and they basically say that he was fired. And he doesn't really understand why, and so he talks to them, and they're like, well, you didn't no-call, no-show. And he didn't. The day that they were talking about, he had called in. He even had, call logs still stored in his phone. And so he went down to the main office for the temp agency that he was working for that controls the factory that he was working at. He went to the actual company base, and they believed him and everything, and they vouched for him, but he still didn't get his job back, and now he can't work for any of the factories that temp agency runs because it's company policy. So he's currently unemployed and looking for a job. He had an interview with a factoring company not too long ago, but we're still waiting to hear back on that. So he lost his job. But around the same time, his birthday is June 2nd, and he loses his job around the exact same time as his birthday. And he finds out that his grandpa is in the hospital, and he's adopted, and his mom has since passed away. He doesn't have many actual blood relatives on his mom's side, and his grandpa was pretty much one of the only ones left. And he had dementia really bad, and he fell, hit his head, ended up on life support in the hospital. Then, a week or two later, he had passed away. But while he was still hooked up, that's what we did on BJ's birthday. On BJ's birthday, we ended up going to the hospital and seeing his grandpa on his birthday, hooked up on life support. And it was one of the saddest moments of my life with him. It was really difficult for both of us to do that. And then his grandma passed away not too long after that, because he only had a month to live, if that. And so I accompanied him to the funeral, and it was really rough, but, you know, we got through it. But that's around the exact same time. I started hanging out with my old friend Teresa again, and Ryan, who's gay. And then my ex-boyfriend Calvin came back from basic training, and he and I, we're good, we're friends. We have hung out once or twice. And then my other ex-boyfriend, Mark, he and I are talking again. He's single.
Jumper.
No one approves. I just feel like he needs a good influence in his life, because he doesn't have anyone who's a good friend to him. Like, he treats everyone like shit, and that's how all of his friends are. They are the exact same way he is. And I feel like he needs someone good in his life, and I feel like I'm it, because I'm willing to handle his shit. I know you disagree. I'll argue with you more later. I already argue with PJ about this all the time. But, yeah, so he and I are friends. I haven't seen him yet. I've just been talking to him on the phone and through text and stuff. But that's how we're doing at the moment. And
did you notice that I got my hair all dyed up again? It no longer looks like crap because I'm pregnant.
I dyed my hair black again, but now it's shaded dark black. But that's it.
Yeah, but you weren't able to do nothing to your hair for 9 months.
That's true.
Even though 10.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was June.
I think we're done.
Oh, one more thing. BJ's parents, his parents are very into their faith, Christianity, and everything, so they're against the whole drugs and smoking and drinking kind of partying scene. And they know that I have done that in the past and everything. They know my background with it. They know my history with it. They know my habits with it and my views on it, which are opposite of theirs. And his dad is a cop for the city he lives in, and his mom's a nurse. So they're very, against all that. But he ended up telling them that he wants to marry me, and they approve. Wholeheartedly. They approve of me because they know I make him happy, and they basically gave him their blessing. So we have his parents' blessing, which is awesome.
Very nice, very nice.
So that's kind of a happier ending to my June. So there you go.
That's it. Peace out, home skellets.
Au revoir.